the log. We're going to talk about the log. Remember last week I told you how someone wrote in the little box, let's get rid of the food log? Remember I told you I want suggestions, I begged for suggestions, so I'm like, oh, here's a what? We're not going to do that. That ain't going to happen. We're not getting rid of the food log. So, people act, I'd love to have seen you in high school. I'd love to have sat next to you in algebra, because you act like this food log is like calculus or statistics. I was like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's so hard. Let me see. You put something here, you write it here. It's not hard. What's hard is coming to grips with it. You're accountable for what you put here and what you put here. One person in session 9 said, I felt like I was writing a book. I started writing, and then I kept writing, and then I kept writing. She lost weight, because let me tell you why. If you're having oatmeal with craisins and skim milk, it might be a little bit more on the line than someone who just wrote cereal. Now, how do I know that they weren't sitting there with the Captain Crunch going, you don't know. Or when someone writes Super Bowl, that's coming up, and they write Super Bowl. What does that mean? They ate the Super Bowl? And I often say to people, unless you have a son playing on one of the teams, you cannot just write Super Bowl. You have to say what you had. You know what's interesting? You can give up smoking, you can give up drinking. I have not had a cigarette since 1977. Not a puff. Yep, neither's Bobby. Woo! 1977. And you know what? If they told me I had 6 months to live, I would be in the food bag line getting a pack of cigarettes. No, I don't think I would anymore. I really don't think I would, because now when people smoke, I'm like, ooh, I can notice that. By the way, thank you for no perfume tonight. I appreciate it. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Bob, thank you for not wearing that perfume tonight. Also, we have to eat. It's like the cruelest of injustice. It's like you can give up alcohol, you can give up cigarettes, you can give up gambling, but you have to eat. That is why planning. I mean, you need to write it down and plan. Also the portions. I know I lost 1 pound this week, and I really thought I was going to lose a lot more. But you know what I did? I made turkey chili. And you know what I didn't have in my hand? That 1 cup measuring cup. And I did not have 1 cup. How many cups did we? Probably had 3 cups. Easy. So if I want to lose more than 1 pound, I'm going to have to get out the measuring cup. One of the things that worked for me the first 6 months when I lost 100 pounds in 6 months, everyone, is this. I told myself I was going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No snacks. No snacks. That is where some people get in trouble. Now you might say, and people will say, that you could say, I give you $1 million, and someone would say, what about the taxes? I gotta pay the taxes. People will have an argument for that. They'll say, Ellen, I thought you were supposed to eat 6 small meals a day. And I'll say, since when is 10 cookies part of those 10 meals? If you're having a yogurt and maybe a half a banana and you're spreading it out, that's fine. But when you go home and you eat dinner and then you start grazing, that's where I think all of us, if we say for a few weeks or a few months, I am just going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you would be surprised how effective that is in the weight loss scheme. Also, you're giving me your food log. One of the prerequisites of this group is that you have to be a Catholic. Part of being Catholic to me is not lying on your food log. I feel it's the most grievous of sins. I feel it's right up there with slander and murder. I feel it is a terrible, terrible sin. And you know what else I tell people? Sin of omission. You think if I eat the hot fudge sundae, oops, I forgot to write it down. You still ate it. And you know, here I am looking going, oh my gosh, I don't know why they're not losing weight. They're so good. Who are you kidding? We're only kidding ourselves if we don't write it on our food log. Also, that BLTs, the bites, licks, and tastes. You know, when I say that some people eat a cup of turkey chili just making it because they're sitting there going, is this any good? You know, watch those. Also, people aren't eating vegetables, protein. They're so used to the fast foods, the pizza, the prepackaged. They don't realize that, I mean, I say this every session, but they still sell apples at Wegmans in January. They're there. You can buy an apple. What are my favorite kind, Bobby?
Honey Crisp.
I shouldn't tell them. They'll try to buy them. All right, Honey Crisp. To me, has anyone ever had a Honey Crisp apple? I would rather have, I want you to write this down because it's true. I would rather have a Honey Crisp apple than a hot fudge sundae. I would. That is how good they are. They are incredible. But don't get them at Wegmans. They're not so good there. also writing it down. Now, Joe uses an app. Anyone here have an iPhone, have a computer? There's apps for that. What apps? Yell out a couple that people have used. Lose It. Any other apps that people? You can actually type in your phone what you eat and it will calculate it and they can print it out. The log is important. If you want to print out your own log, I don't care. People have handed me their log on a paper towel before. That form I give you, but if you want to do an app and print it out, I have no problem with that. Try to calculate the calories. One person said, I went back to counting my calories this week. She lost 3 pounds. Counting the calories. Also, 8 healthy eating rules. Make your lunch the night before. How do you know what the next morning is going to be like? You're going to get up late. You're going to be in a hurry. We have our lunch in the fridge the night before. I know what I'm going to eat the entire next day the day before. When you don't plan is when those triggers kick in. And you know what's really funny though? When your head is in it, some people say clean out your pantry, get rid of everything. When my head is in the game, there could be 10 jars of cashews in my pantry. I just don't want them. There's going to be cookies and donuts. You just have to say to yourself, I don't want them. You have kids, you have grandkids, and there's cookies. I mean, if you are the kind of person that if it's there, that you have to have it, then I say get rid of it. But when your head's in it, then you don't have it in there. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about exercise, and I'm going to stop right there, Bob. You know,